so.
The Honourable Paul Green.
Mr President, my question without notice is the Minister for Roads, Maritime and Freight. On the 28th of July, the Newcastle Herald published that it had received a strictly confidential port commitment document outlining that an operator of the Newcastle container terminal would have to pay compensation to the government if it moved more than 30,000 containers per year, which would cost a minimum of $1 million. Can the Minister please comment on the validity of this claim? Is this true? And Minister, given that the unemployment rates in Newcastle is around 12% unemployment and higher for youth unemployment at 20%, should the government not be working towards building shipments through the port of Newcastle in order to provide additional employment opportunities?
That was an adjournment speech. That was an adjournment speech.
No caps up there. No caps in Newcastle.
Order!
No caps in Newcastle.
I didn't run.
I call the Honourable Sophie Foster to order for the first time.
You had something to do with that.
Mr President, I thank the honourable member for his question and certainly know it's an issue for certain people in the Newcastle area and not the least of which that fine periodical, the Newcastle Herald.
Journal.
Well, look, it's one thing for you to be here, but for the Labor Party to mock the Newcastle Herald.
No one was mocking it.
That's
a lie. That's a lie.
Mr. President.
Point of order, Mr. President. Point of order, Mr. President.
The Honourable Walt Secord on
Point of order. I cannot let this pass. Hansard must show that we were not mocking the Newcastle Herald. We love that publication.
We were mocking the Minister.
We were mocking.
I'll leave the matter there. The Minister has the call.
Mr. President, as the government has consistently said, the leasing terms of Botany and Kembla do not prohibit the development of a container terminal at the Port of Newcastle. In fact, there is ample opportunity for increased container trade at the port. The port transaction deeds do not trigger any cross payments until a threshold container throughput is reached. That threshold is based on 30,000 containers each year, plus an extra 6% growth in volume each year. Based on current growth rates, it is highly unlikely current container trade in Newcastle will reach the applicable threshold before such time as
Order,
Newcastle...
I'm having difficulty hearing the Minister from chatter on both sides of the chamber.
Such time as Newcastle is required to establish high-intensity container terminals to meet forecasted population and business needs for the Hunter. Yearly container trade at Newcastle is currently holding steady at 9,000 boxes. So, you remember? 30,000 was where they could get to. They're currently at 9,000, but they've got 30,000 plus 6% per annum. So, to paraphrase it, they're not within a bull's roar. They're not within a bull's roar of getting close to that trigger. Yearly, as I said, yearly trade at Newcastle is currently holding steady at 9,000 boxes. In other words, it would take a massive 230% increase in container trade volume just to reach the 30,000 TEU threshold, and that's even before you apply the extra 6% growth rate. So we've got a long way to go. Indeed, when you apply the formula to outer years, by 2030, the threshold at Newcastle will be approximately 80,000 boxes, by 2040 144,000 boxes, and by 2050 it will be almost 260,000 boxes. So you're getting the trend. Port of Newcastle will continue to be New South Wales' primary coal export facility and will continue to diversify into bulk grain and other commodities, including the recent diversification into fuel, which is very important for Newcastle and the Hunter. The New South Wales Government engaged closely with the ACCC and other regulatory bodies as part of the transactions process. Port Botany remains the key container facility for New South Wales for a range of logistical and commercial reasons. It is the second largest container facility in Australia, just behind the Port of Melbourne, acting as a gateway to the most populous city in the nation. Approximately 85% of imported containers landing at Port Botany are distributed within 40 to 50 kilometres of the terminal. But this is important. If you're sending a container in, you want it to go at the least cost to its destination. Yeah, that's right. 85% of those containers go to Sydney.
Minister's time has expired. Order, Minister will resume his seat.
Double the distance of Port Kennedy.
Order.